Coming up, we'll deliver a full recap of today's game, including highlights from the biggest moments. Listen to Craig Stammen's post-game comments. Plus, we'll bring you today's play of the game. From the Padres Radio Network, here's Sam Levitt.
The lefty set. Now the ninth pitch of the at-bat. France hits it in the air, deep to left field. Clase is back. This one, gonna go! Western medal for Ty France. His 11th home run of the year has put the Padres back ahead. It's 8-7.
Ty France with the go-ahead home run in the bottom half of the sixth inning gives the Padres an 8-7 lead on this Saturday night at Petco Park, and they go on to win by that final score to even up this series at a game apiece. Welcome into our Jamul Casino Resort Padres post-game show here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park. This was a really, really entertaining back-and-forth game tonight. Padres led early. They trailed. Padres would tie it, take a lead. Blue Jays tied it, but Ty France and the Padres have the final say as the Padres now have an opportunity to win this three-game series tomorrow here in downtown San Diego. I caught up with Ty France on the field just moments ago.
Ty, this was a back-and-forth battle tonight. How was your team able to respond all night long?
Yeah, just never giving up, staying in the fight. Like you said, it was a grind. So, we knew after the first couple innings it was going to be a dogfight, and thankfully we came out on top.
Go-ahead home run in the sixth inning. You work a 9-pitch at bat, 3-2 count. How are you ready for the sweeper?
Yeah, I feel like I saw every single one of his pitches, and I was able to time one up, and he left it over the middle and just put a good swing on it.
Sung Moon Song, big impact on this game, big 2-run single, great catch at third base. What's it been like for you being this guy's teammate?
Yeah, it's been awesome. It's been fun to watch. It's not easy coming over here and having success right away. So, he's been grinding. He's been working every day. So for him to put together a game like this, and I'm very, very proud of him. And he's going to keep it going for us.
You went to the World Series with the Blue Jays last season. What's the significance about playing against that team?
Yeah, it's always fun when you get to play against your old team. A lot of good guys over there, built a lot of good relationships, and anytime you get to go to battle against them, it's a lot of fun, and that's what this series has been so far.
Finally, nice win tonight. One more game before the break. How do you build on something like this?
Yeah, just try and keep the momentum rolling. Try and go in tomorrow with a good game plan, swing at the right pitches, and see where it ends up.
Ty, great job tonight. Thanks so much.
You got it. Thank you.
After tonight's 8-7 win against the Toronto Blue Jays, France the go-ahead home run in the bottom half of the sixth inning, his 11th home run of the year. What a pickup Ty France continues to be for the Padres here in 2026. This was an absolute full team effort tonight. We'll get into all of it. We have the radio highlights coming up for you. We also will hear from Padres manager Craig Stammen. As always, our post-game coverage brought to you by Jamul Casino Resort, a player with a top 100 spa, an epic rooftop pool, and Lux Hotel Suites. Jamul Casino Resort is the Jamul Casino Resort is the mini vacay you need. As you know, the Players Place. And as always, big thank you to our good friends at Jamul Casino Resort. Their support all season long. Padres improved to 47-48. The Blue Jays have their 3-game winning streak come to an end here today. They dropped to 45-50. This was a back-and-forth battle. It really was kind of a crazy game, especially in the first 2 innings. We will get into all of it, but the Padres victorious here tonight in front of another great crowd here at Petco Park. We've got the radio highlights for you when we come back on the Padres Radio Network.
Nothing goes better as
Our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we continue to wrap this one up. A nice win for the Padres here tonight against the Blue Jays as they beat Toronto 8-7. Lot to do. We'll go downstairs. Hear from Craig Stammen coming up in just a little bit. A full look at the out-of-town scoreboard, your phone calls, and much, much more as the Padres even up their record on this 7-game homestand to 3-3. The Padres now an opportunity to make it a winning homestand tomorrow, an opportunity to win this 3-game series from Toronto, have a couple of consecutive wins going into the All-Star break. And yes, tomorrow is the final game of the first half. It'll be game number 96. But as you know, All-Star break not to smack in the middle of the season mathematically, but for all intents and purposes, the ceremonial first half comes to an end tomorrow, then the All-Star break, and then the Padres back in action with a long road trip after the break. But first things first, we recap this one, and tomorrow the rubber game of this 3-game series against Toronto. This was a really entertaining game here tonight. I feel like if you were in the building, if you were one of the 40,000 plus in the building, I do feel like you got your money's worth tonight because there was some weirdness to it, but there was back and forth. There were big swings. There was excitement. There was even stuff to get angry about. There were calls to get angry about. So I do think you got your money's worth in this game on this Saturday night. Let's recap it from start to finish.
Which moments determine the outcome of today's game? We'll paint you a picture with our game highlights on the Padres Radio Network.
All right, buckle in because this game was a doozy early on. Walker Buehler worked around a 2-out single in the top of the first inning. In the bottom half of the inning, Trey Savage had no command. He walked the first 3 Padres hitters of the game. With 1 out, he walked Gavin Sheets to bring in a run. Ty France then hit a sac fly to score another, the Padres scoring 2 runs in the bottom half of the first inning without the benefit of a hit. Buehler was working with a 2-0 lead in the top of the second. He then had major control issues as well. Buehler walked the first 2 batters of the inning. Alejandro Kirk hit an RBI double. That made it 2-1. A ground out from Andres Jimenez with the infield playing back made it 2-2. With 2 outs and a runner still on base, it was Jonathan Clase.
And the pitch to Clase is hit in the air deep to right field. Fernando is going back at the wall, looking up, gonna go. Long 2-run homer for Clase, his second of the season. Only been here for 4 or 5 days, and that will give the Jays a lead, 4-2 here in the second.
So the Jays getting 4 runs against Walker Buehler in the top of the second. Bottom 2, Savage again lost his command. He issued 3 more walks to load the bases. Manny Machado dug in.
Here's the pitch. Machado swings, lines it into left center field. That's going to get down. And a base hit for Manny. Song has scored. Merrill's right behind him. It's a 2-run single and a 4-4 game.
We had a 4-4 game after 2 innings. Savage was done. Buehler also done. So in the first 2 innings of this game, the teams had combined for 8 runs on just 4 hits, 11 walks. Let me repeat that. 11 walks in 2 innings, the most in any major league game this season through 2 innings. 7 for Savage, 4 for Buehler. Whew, what a couple of innings, a 4-4 game. Matt Waldron replaced Buehler. He tossed the scoreless top of the third. Lefty Adam Macko stayed on for the Jays in the bottom half of the third. The Padres put runners on second and third with 2 men away for Sung Moon Song.
First pitch on the way from Macko is lined up the middle into center and a base hit. France will score. Cronenworth's right behind him. Sung Moon Song, a 2-run single. And the Padres are back ahead at 6-4.
Big swing for Sung Moon Song. In the top of the 4th inning, the Blue Jays threatened against Waldron. Runners on first and third, 2 men away for George Springer.
First pitch to Springer, hit hard on a line left side. Song dives to his left and makes the catch to end the inning. Sung Moon Song, a go-ahead 2-run single last inning and a diving catch to end it this inning.
Yeah, incredible play by Sung Moon Song, saving a run, the big hit in the top of the inning, the excellent play to get Waldron out of a jam in the bottom half of the inning. Blue Jay righty Braden Fisher was on the mound in the bottom half of the 4th. Padres put runners on first and third, 2 out, Jake Cronenworth at the plate.
2 on and 2 out for Cronenworth. Padres ahead by 2, looking for more. Jake grounds it to the right side. That'll find its way into center and a base hit. Sheets is rounding third on his way. The throw goes to second base, and Jake Cronenworth an RBI single as the Padres extend the lead 7-4.
So the Padres led 7-4 after 4 innings. Matt Waldron did a really nice job out of the bullpen after being activated from the IL earlier today. 3 scoreless innings in relief. Padres still led 7-4 going to the top of the 6th inning. Yuki Matsui came on. He issued a 1-out walk and a 2-out hit by pitch. That brought up the tying run to the plate in Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Craig Stammen went to right-hander Bradley Rodriguez to face the powerful Vladdy.
This one in the air, a mile to deep left field. Forget it. Sheets will watch, and Vladdy has tied it with one big swing. A long 3-run homer, and we're going to start fresh again. 7-7 here in the 6th.
Back and forth we went. A big home run for Guerrero. We were tied at 7 in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Left-hander Mason Fluharty on the mound for Toronto. He got the first 2 outs, but then it was Ty France.
The lefty set. Now the 9th pitch of the at-bat. France hits it in the air, deep to left field. Clase is back. This one gonna go! Western medal for Ty France. His 11th home run of the year has put the Padres back ahead. It's 8-7.
Big swing for Ty France. Padres, as Jesse said, back in front. Bradley Rodriguez went back out for the 7th inning. He pitched a 1-2-3 frame. Spencer Miles pitched the scoreless bottom half for the Blue Jays. Padres still led 8-7 going top 8. Adrian Morejon came on. He gave up a leadoff single to pinch hitter Luis Urias, but then Morejon got a strikeout and a double play off the bat of Ernie Clement. Inning over, Padres still up 8-7. Padres still up by a run. Going to the top half of the 9th inning, Mason Miller came on for the save opportunity. Nathan Lucas began the inning with a leadoff single. So just like that, the tying run on base. Pinch runner Miles Straw replaced Lucas. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. struck out for out number 1. Straw then stole second base to move the tying run into scoring position. George Springer then laced one into deep center. Jackson Merrill went back on it on the warning track, made the catch for out number 2. The game was left up to the powerful Kazuma Okamoto for the Jays.
Miller comes set. 0-2 the pitch. Okamoto swings and misses, strike 3. Mason Miller takes care of business in the 9th as the Padres beat the Blue Jays 8-7. Teams combined for 15 runs, 16 hits, 17 walks, and it's the Padres who will shake hands at the end of the night.
Hard-fought victory for this ball club. Offense took advantage of all of the walks today, and the Padres get a nice victory here.
Sets up a rubber game tomorrow in the final game before the All-Star break.
A really nice win for the Padres here tonight. A game that saw 17 walks, as Jesse and Tony said, at 16 hits. So more walks than hits in this one, but the Padres will take it. 8 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for San Diego tonight. Toronto 7 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. Padres went 3 for 9 with runners in scoring position. The Jays went 3 for 10. The winning pitcher today, Bradley Rodriguez, improves to 2-2. Mason Fluharty took the loss. He's now 4-1, and the save goes to All-Star Mason Miller, who is now 24 for 24 in save opportunities this season in front of a crowd of more than 40,000 here in downtown San Diego. Padres improved to 47-48. The Blue Jays dropped to 45-50. So that was that here tonight. Really good win for the Padres. Back and forth all night long. There were multiple points in this game, I would say, where you kind of got that feeling of, here we go again. But the Padres time and time again tonight responded. The big swing from France in the 6th inning. Bullpen settled in after Rodriguez gave up the home run. And then you know what Morejon and Miller can do in the 8th and 9th innings. And the Padres shut the door and now give themselves an opportunity to win this series tomorrow. When we come back, we'll hear from Padres manager Craig Stammen. Again, the final score here tonight, Padres 8 and the Blue Jays 7 on the Padres Radio Network.
You're listening to
Moving and grooving on this Saturday night here in America's finest city. Padres win it 8-7 against the Toronto Blue Jays here tonight as they even up this series at a game apiece. Really nice win for the Padres as they battled in this one, no doubt about it. This was a back-and-forth game. We talked about really the ridiculousness of the first 2 innings of this game. I mean, all you had to know was that these two teams in the first 2 innings combined for 8 runs on a grand total of 4 hits and 11 walks. 11 walks in 2 innings. It was really something. Trey Savage, now, he was so good for the Blue Jays last year in the postseason. He's had a good year. Man, oh man, did he have no command. He walked 7 in an inning and 2/3. I'm fascinated to see what he says after this game because it was, I don't know that I've ever seen anything like it. 7 walks in an inning and 2/3. Now, Walker Buehler ended up walking 4 and actually, gave up 4 runs as well in 2 innings of work. So it was a really rough day for both starting pitchers. But, I said this earlier, I'll say it again. This is a really, really nice win and a team win because the Padres got contributions up and down their roster, whether you want to talk about the go-ahead home run from France, whether you want to talk about Sung-Moon Song, a big 2-run single, a great defensive play to save a run, maybe more ultimately in that inning at third base later in that later in the top half of the 4th inning. I may have said a little bit earlier in the recap, top and bottom of the inning. Of course, I meant bottom of the 3rd, top of the 4th inning, so I apologize if I did that. But Song had a big impact on this game. Merrill had a couple of hits. Manny had a big 2-run single. You had Matt Waldron, who was activated earlier today, coming out of the bullpen, gave you 3 big innings. You had even Bradley Rodriguez, after he gives up the home run to Guerrero, comes back out for the 7th inning, puts together a scoreless frame, and then the usual brilliance of Morahone and Miller in the 8th and 9th inning. So up and down the roster today, it was guys like Manny, it was guys like Song, it was guys like France, it was guys like Waldron, it was guys like Morahone and Miller. Everybody seemed to play a role in a really nice 8-7 win, and what you hope, this is a momentum builder for this team heading into the All-Star break. And of course, the way you build momentum, win tomorrow, have a nice break, come back strong beginning on Friday in Kansas City. With all that in mind, let's go downstairs and hear from Padre manager Craig Stammen.
Let's pull up a seat in the manager's office and hear from Padres skipper Craig Stammen. Served up by Sinley Food. If you've had better chicken, you must be a rooster.
I think a lot of layers to this one with you guys. 8th, you only got the 2 innings from your starter. To be able to pull out a win like this at this time of the year without making too much of one particular game, what does that do for your team at this time of the year?
Yeah, I think these last 2 games before the All-Star break are definitely important. We feel like we need a little bit of momentum going into the break and a good taste in our mouth. Today was a hard-fought game, where we felt like we had the game and then we gave it up, and then we had the game and then we gave it up. And a big hit by Ty in the right moment that just, got us to the back end of our bullpen. They could shut it down. So, like you said, a lot of layers to this game, but a lot of fight from our team and a lot of not give up. This team is not giving up. That is fact. We've seen that the entire year. That is one quality that they have amongst, a lot of the struggles that we've had this year, but they do not give up. And it's a tough group in there that seems to be very resilient, and that's going to bode well for the second half of the season.
I know Buehler didn't have the type of outing that he would have wanted to have, but then to be able to have Matt Waldron give you 3 scoreless after that, what was the value of that tonight?
Yeah, absolutely huge. Walker just had that rough second inning, it was just, their starter was walking a lot of guys, and he, walked a few guys in that inning. Gave the home run, but Matt able to get called up today. He was ready, in AAA. He'd been putting in the work, and he was ready to go today from the jump. And that was a big 3 innings that we needed from him, and really calmed the game for us down and gave us a chance to get a lead.
How important was that hit by Manny? Just seemed like that could have been disastrous if we came up the second time.
Yes, and that is why Manny is Manny, because 99% of people would have challenged the 3-0 pitch. And I don't know whether he said he was moving, towards first base and didn't get a good look at it, but he has the belief in himself that he would rather swing the bat than take a walk. And there's times when it doesn't work out for him that way. And then there's other times where he's Manny Machado and he gets the big hit there and when nobody else can get a hit.
It seems you've been giving Song more chances. And what is it like to see him, and how important is it to see him kind of responding?
Yeah, huge game today. He's had a couple huge games here of late. Feels like he's, finding his groove and playing like the player he played, like in Korea. Big left on left hit today. Great play at third base, taking walks, making good swings, stealing bases. So complete player, on display. And we're going to continue to find ways to get him in the lineup.
How valuable is it to have that, given kind of where you are in the season? Some of your guys are banged up. He can play pretty much anywhere. For him to be doing what he's doing at the plate, starting to hit a little bit, how valuable is he?
Yeah, I think it's hard to describe the value because, left side of infield's a little older and they can wear down a little bit playing every single day. Him being able to play third, short, second, give Crony a day when he needs to, or move Crony to first. Hopefully, the game plan is to keep these guys fresh for the end of the season so they can get hot and we're playing our best baseball at the end. We've talked a lot about it with the injuries and, mixing and matching and trying to figure it out. Like the offense, we've got guys that are going to be here for a while and they're hit for a long time in their career. And for them to kind of carry the team a little bit is a little bit of what we need. And if we get them hitting like they did tonight, I feel good about our chances in the second half. The pitching is going to figure itself out. We got a great group of pitchers and pitching coaches that are going to work together and get that thing right.
Walker was your most consistent starter for a while. How do you get him out of this really rough stretch he's had last year?
Yeah, hopefully, maybe a little bit of break over the All-Star break. And, he's not a spring chicken either. He's got a lot of innings under his belt. And, maybe he just needs a little bit of a breather. But you can definitely see, he's not as sharp as he was back in June. And, we'll get him right and get him back to that pitcher that we saw that was very effective for us.
That was Padres manager Craig Stammen following this 8-7 win for the Padres against the Toronto Blue Jays here tonight. Sam Levitt back with you on our postgame coverage from Petco Park, live here from the Western Metal Building. As always, our postgame coverage brought to you by Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. Few things I want to chew on there from Craig Stammen. Number one, no doubt, this has been a rough stretch for Walker Buehler. I mean, he's had 3 consecutive starts now that have gone pretty poorly, to say the least. And you do hope that a little break for Walker does him some good. Look, there's no way around it. Walker's going to be important for this rotation and for this team. It's a banged up rotation. It's a rotation that has had a lot of troubles the last month and a half. As we know, they're going to need Walker Buehler to return to some level of the guy he was for the month and a half before the calendar flipped to July. So we'll get into that maybe a little bit later in the post game, but there's no doubt about it. It's been a rough go for Walker Buehler. Fortunately, the Padres were able to overcome that here tonight. I do want to talk about the Manny 2-run single in the second inning in particular, because I thought Kevin Acey there, who asked the question from the San Diego Union Tribune, I thought Kevin put it well. I think he used the word, did he say disaster? I think he said disaster if the Padres didn't come through in that second inning. Let me agree with that. Yeah. You know what? If the Padres come up empty in that second inning, I think you are looking at a severely underwhelming 2 innings if you don't come through and you have a scoreless inning in the second. Because you had Trey Savage unable to throw a strike. You had Trey Savage walking 7 hitters in the first 2 innings. 7. And if you're telling me you've got a starting pitcher out there walking 7 guys in 2 innings, and you're able to muster up 2 runs, and by the way, believe it or not, the Padres scored 4 runs in the first 2 innings. Their lone hit of the first 2 innings was that Manny hit. So if Manny doesn't come through in that spot, you are looking at a situation where it would have been 7 walks in 2 innings. You didn't have a hit, and you got 2 runs out of it. I'll agree with, I think he said disaster. I'll agree. That would have been a disaster. It would have been. I mean, again, you have a pitcher out there walking the world. You got to get a hit, and you got to score some runs. And thankfully, Manny did come through to tie the game with the 2-run single in the second. So I agree. That was a very, very big hit in this game, because otherwise that would have been an unbelievably underwhelming first 2 innings for the Padres from a run standpoint. When you've got a guy unable to throw a strike and walk in 7, and I mean, you got to get more runs there, and you got to get a hit at some point to make them pay. And they did it with Manny. So I agree. That was a big swing, really, really big swing in this game. Sung-Moon Song, you got to give him a lot of credit. He's been given more playing time, and he's delivered. I mean, he's swinging the bat pretty well. That was a huge 2-run single in the third. Not an easy at bat for him. Lefty on lefty. That has been a really, really good spot, a bright spot, I should say, for this team. The way Sung-Moon Song has played, he's been given opportunity, and he's really made an impact and made a big impact defensively on this game as well. And he's a nice player to have. Look, if Song's going to hit, make no mistake about it, he is a nice player to have, because as they discussed in the postgame there, he's somebody who can play all over. He's somebody who, had a hit off a lefty tonight. Maybe you can play him a little bit against righties and lefties. He's kind of like the Swiss Army knife, right? Where he, super utility guy, I should say, where he can play all over and, provide enough offense to give you the ability to play him. That's a big development if Song is already turning into something. So pretty impressive night for Sung-Moon Song. Hopefully a sign of things to come for Song. He's a nice piece. He is. If he's going to hit, he's a useful piece on a good team. No doubt about it. All right, let's step aside. When we come back, I want to dive a little bit deeper into what Matt Waldron did here tonight. We'll talk about Buehler just a little bit more, kind of take a wider snapshot on what's been going on with him. Full look at the out-of-town scoreboard. If you want to squeeze a phone call in, 833-288-0973. Phone number to call, again, 833-288-0973. Phone number to dial. Final score here tonight, Padres 8 and the Blue Jays 7 on the Padres Radio Network.
Now that baseball season is in
Jays Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we continue to wrap this one up. Final score here tonight, Padres 8 and the Blue Jays 7. Still a lot to do. We'll have a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard. We'll replay my interview with Ty France in a little bit in case you missed it. We'll squeeze in a phone call or two before we go as well. Let's get to some of our daily awards here. Before I do that, actually, I just want to give you some of the numbers on Walker Buehler. And again, that was the negative of tonight's game. It was another very tough outing for Walker, really tough inning for Walker because the first inning was fine, but he ended up walking 4 and giving up 4 runs in the second inning. And then look, Craig did, I thought, the smart thing. He got him out of there. The way this game was going, you felt like, if Buehler stayed out there, there was a chance the Blue Jays were going to continue to hit him. So, I thought that was a quick hook, but probably the right move based on the importance of these games and based on how it's been going for Walker Buehler lately. But to give you an idea of what a radical turn this has been for Buehler, I mean, Walker Buehler in the month of June, in 5 starts, 1.71 ERA. Make no mistake about it. He was this team's best starting pitcher in the month of June. And even going back to about May 10th, when he went 6 strong innings, quality start against the Cardinals, I mean, he had a span of 9 starts, I would say, that were really, really good. And the month of June was terrific. He was pitching really, really well for a month and a half. But since the calendar flipped to July, here are the outings for Walker. In Chicago, a lot of wind, but no excuse. 4 innings, 9 runs, 7 hits, 3 home runs. Against Arizona, 5 innings, 7 runs, 7 hits, 2 home runs. And here today against Toronto, 2 innings, 4 runs, 3 hits, and a home run. Walker Buehler has a 16 ERA in the month of July so far in 3 starts, 16.36 to be exact. He's pitched 11 innings, given up 20 runs, 17 hits, 6 home runs. It has been a rocky month of July, and there is no doubt when you talk about guys that are important to the Padres after the break, I'll tell you what, I'll put Walker Buehler towards the top of the list. They need him to be more like the version we saw in May and June, something like that. They need it because this team needs the starting pitching. They need the quality starting pitching. They need Walker Buehler to find it again. So that will be a priority, I think, for the Padres moving into the second half on your wish list is Walker Buehler finding it again because the last 3 obviously have been rough. On a more positive note, let's tell you about tonight's relief pitcher of the game.
Which pitcher entered the game and slammed the door shut? This is today's relief pitcher of the game, brought to you by San Diego criminal defense attorney David P. Shapiro. We help good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime. Learn more at davidpshapirolaw.com.
Well, no doubt about it here tonight. Relief pitcher of the game, Matt Waldron, who was activated earlier today off the IL. First appearance in nearly 2 months in the major leagues. He went 3 scoreless innings out of the pen, gave up 2 hits, struck out 3, and walked 1. And Waldron not only threw up zeros, but Waldron, and I thought Craig Stammen put it perfectly, he settled the game down, right? That's what he did. He settled it down a little bit after Buehler had struggled. He just sort of threw up some zeros, gave the Padres an opportunity to take a lead, first tie it, then take a lead. They not tie it, but take a lead. Settled it down, gave the Padres a chance to go in front by a few runs, and it ended up being 3 incredibly important innings in this game. Kudos to Matt Waldron coming up today and getting it done. It had been pretty rough for Matt, in the starting role. And then in the bullpen role, before he went on the IL. So to have him come back and really contribute to this win, and that's what I said earlier, this was a full team win tonight. You got contributions from all over, Song and Waldron and Manny and Merrill and Morahone and Miller, up and down the roster, every corner of this roster of that locker room. You got contributions from tonight, and a really nice job by Matt Waldron throwing up 3 scoreless innings and settling this game down. Ended up being a very big part of this win. Let's tell you about today's Heart of the Order.
Let's take the pulse of the Padres and check in on the Heart of the Order, presented by Palomar Health Medical Group.
Heart of the Order here tonight. Bogarts, Machado, Sheets. Bogey 0 for 2 with 3 walks. Still did get on base. Manny had the big 2-run single. We talked about the importance of that hit in the second inning. Gavin Sheets didn't have a hit in this game, but did walk 3 times and did score a run. So how was that here tonight with the Heart of the Order? 3, 4, 5 spots. Manny the lone hit. A big hit. Gavin on base 3 times. Bogarts on base 3 times. Again, 11 walks for the Padres tonight and 6 for the Blue Jays. There is a pretty interesting note. And I said, I think earlier, the first 2 innings, I'd never seen anything like it before. It was so ridiculous with the walks. How about this? This is from OptaStats on X. OptaStats saying, tonight's Blue Jays-Padres game is the only major league game in the modern era where the starting pitchers combined for 11 or more walks while getting 11 or fewer combined outs. That's what was going on tonight. So again, first game in the modern era where the starting pitchers tonight, Buehler and Yasavage, combined for 11 or more walks, and they combined for 11 while getting 11 or fewer outs. They got 11 because Buehler got 6, Yasavage got 5. So never happened in the modern era in a long time. Felt that way. It was ridiculous in the first 2 innings. But again, Matt Waldron, a big reason why it settled down. The Padres took a lead and certainly a big part of tonight's win. All right, let's squeeze in a phone call or 2 before we end this segment. Let's go to Carlos calling in here on line 1. Carlos, go ahead. You're on the Padres Radio Network on this Saturday. Welcome in.
Hey, Tommy. How are you?
Doing well, Carlos. What's up?
Good. Hey, so I was at the game tonight, and I don't know if it was the 7th or 8th inning. I can't recall, but what's your take on that call from New York about the Jackson Merrill stolen base?
Totally.
That's the most boos I've ever heard.
Carlos, you took the words.
Game.
Carlos, you took the words out of my mouth, and I'm glad you brought it up and appreciate the phone call. I'm glad you brought it up because I haven't even mentioned it yet. And the reason I didn't mention it yet is because it ended up not really mattering, right? The Padres ended up winning it in the top of the 9th inning. Miller shut the door. So it ended up really being inconsequential other than Merrill not getting credit for a stolen base. I got 2 thoughts on it. Number 1, I completely agree with you. I don't know that I've ever heard Petco Park boo louder than what I heard tonight for that call. And they did it for the rest of the inning and into the next inning. I am serious. I'm being totally serious right now. And I've been at nearly every home game with the exception of, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, somewhere under 5, I would say, home games in the last 5 years. I personally, I don't think I've ever heard Petco Park boo louder than they did for that call. I'm totally serious. I thought that in the moment, and I think it right now. Why it wasn't overturned, I don't know. I thought there was, much like the fans did, I thought there was one angle that showed clearly Merrill got in. So I was as shocked as you were that it wasn't overturned. There were a few angles where it was tough to see, as is the case with a lot of these replays. But I thought there was one angle in particular where it was very clear, like indisputably clear, that he got in before the tag. And I don't know. I don't know why it was overturned. Apparently it wasn't evidence enough. The call stood and he was out. And I'm with you. I've never heard the boos louder. I'm totally with you. That was, I agree. I mean, it was, I don't get it. So ended up not playing a big role in this game, thankfully, and the Padres hang on for an 8-7 win. When we come back, full look at the out-of-town scoreboard. We'll get you ready for the rubber game of this series tomorrow, and we will also replay my post-game conversation with one of tonight's heroes, Ty France. Final score here tonight, Padres 8 and the Blue Jays 7. Our post-game coverage continues after this.
Stay tuned.
Our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Final score on this Saturday night, Padres 8 and the Blue Jays 7. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building as we continue to wrap this one up. We'll get you ready for tomorrow's game, series and homestand finale in the final game of the first half of the season, rubber game of this 3-game set. And we'll also replay my postgame conversation with Ty France in just a moment as well. But right now, let's take a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard.
Let's take a trip around the bigs to highlight the scores that matter most with our out-of-town scoreboard. Presented by Jensen Premium Beef Patties. Always a hit for grilling.
Well, everything has gone final in the major leagues today. The Red Sox beat the Mets 4-0 in New York. Andrew Monasterio, Masataka Yoshida, home runs in that game for the Sox. Pirates over the Brewers 7-6 in Pittsburgh. Esmerlin Valdez hit 2 home runs in that Pittsburgh win. Twins beat the Angels 5-3 in Minnesota. Victor Caratini, a late go-ahead double in that game for the Twins. The White Sox beat the A's 1-0 in Chicago today. The lone run the White Sox scored in that game came courtesy of an RBI hit from Chase Mydroth. Eric Fetty, really nice outing in that game for Chicago as well. In relief, 4 scoreless innings, picked up the win. By the way, I should have mentioned, doubleheader today between the Pirates and the Brewers. Again, Pirates won Game 1, 7-6. They won Game 2, 3-2. So Esmerlin Valdez, by the way, hit another home run in the second game of the doubleheader as the Pirates win it 3-2. So they sweep that twin billing from Milwaukee. Giants beat the Rockies 4-2 in San Francisco. Casey Schmidt, a 3-run home run in that game for San Francisco. Yankees beat the Nationals 4-2 in D.C. Trent Grisham, a go-ahead home run in the 8th inning for the Yanks. The Rays beat the Mariners 6-1 in Tampa Bay. Guardians over the Marlins 4-1 in Miami. The Phillies beat the Tigers 4-2 in Detroit. JT Realmuto, a couple of RBIs in that game for Philly. Orioles beat the Royals 6-1 in Baltimore. Nice start for Kyle Bradish in that game as he picks up the win. Astros beat the Rangers 9-3 in Arlington. Yordan Alvarez, a 2-run home run in that game for Houston. Cubs beat the Reds 5-3 in Cincinnati. Alex Bregman, a late hit in that game to propel the Cubs to a win. Other finals, Cardinals beat the Braves 4-1 in St. Louis. D-backs over the Dodgers 9-2 in L.A. as Brandon Pfaadt beats Yoshinobu Yamamoto in that game. And that is a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this Saturday. Take a look at the standings at the end of tonight. The Padres, fortunately, did pick up a half game today in the wild card standings, so they will end the night 5 games out of a wild card spot in the National League. Why did they pick up a win? Why did they pick up a half game here tonight? Well, we had a 7-7 game in the bottom half of the 6th inning. That was just after Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hit a 3-run home run against Bradley Rodriguez in the top of the 6th to tie the game at 7. But a few batters later, bottom 6, it was Ty France's turn.
One bounce, one hit, one pitch can be the difference between victory and defeat. What was the most important play in today's game? This is today's Play of the Game. Presented by Phil Hell Plumbing, Heating and Air, Restoration and Flood. We know how.
The lefty set. Now the 9th pitch of the at-bat. France hits it in the air, deep to left field. Clase is back. This one gonna go! Western medal for Ty France. His 11th home run of the year has put the Padres back ahead. It's 8-7.
Ty France, the go-ahead home run in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Really good at bat, too. The count went full. 9th pitch of the at-bat against the left-hander. Mason flew Hardy threw him a sweeper, and Ty France depositing it into the Western Metal Building, gave the Padres an 8-7 lead, and they hang on to win by that final score. I caught up with Ty on the field right after tonight's win.
Ty, this was a back-and-forth battle tonight. How was your team able to respond all night long?
Yeah, just never giving up, staying in the fight. Like you said, it was a grind. So, we knew after the first couple innings it was going to be a dogfight, and thankfully we came out on top.
Go-ahead home run in the 6th inning. You work a 9-pitch at bat, 3-2 count. How were you ready for the sweeper?
Yeah, I feel like I saw every single one of his pitches, and I was able to time one up, and he left it over the middle and just put a good swing on it.
Sung Moon Song, big impact on this game, big 2-run single, great catch at third base. What's it been like for you being this guy's teammate?
Yeah, it's been awesome. It's been fun to watch. It's not easy coming over here and having success right away. So, he's been grinding, he's been working every day. So for him to put together a game like this, and I'm very, very proud of him, and he's going to keep it going for us.
You went to the World Series with the Blue Jays last season. What's the significance about playing against that team?
Yeah, it's always fun when you get to play against your old team. A lot of good guys over there, built a lot of good relationships, and anytime you get to go to battle against them, it's a lot of fun, and that's what this series has been so far.
Finally, nice win tonight. One more game before the break. How do you build on something like this?
Yeah, just try and keep the momentum rolling. Try and go in tomorrow with a good game plan, swing at the right pitches, and see where it ends up.
Ty, great job tonight. Thanks so much.
You got it. Thank you.
That was Ty France right after tonight's 8-7 win. Ty the big home run. A full team effort here tonight as the Padres even up this series at a game apiece. As always, our post-game coverage has been brought to you by Jamul Casino Resort. Hey player, the rooftop pool's open. Day passes are available and the spa is calling your name. Jamul Casino Resort, the player's place. All right, taking a look ahead to tomorrow, the final game of this 3-game series, rubber game of this 3-game series, and the final game before the All-Star break. First pitch tomorrow at 1:10 p.m. Our pregame coverage will begin at 12:10. Pitching matchup tomorrow, right-hander Kevin Gossman on the mound for Toronto, right-hander German Marquez on the mound for San Diego. As always, if you missed any portion of our post-game coverage, you can go back and listen to all of it on the Inside San Diego Baseball podcast, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your podcasts. You can also go back on the 97.3 The Fan YouTube channel and watch any portion of our post-game coverage there as well. A look at the final totals here tonight for the Padres, who improved to 47-48 on the season. 8 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. They left on 10. For Toronto, who drops to 45-50, 7 runs, 8 hits, no errors, and they left on 7. Winning pitcher today, Bradley Rodriguez, who improves to 2-2. Losing pitcher, Mason Fluharty, who takes his first loss of the season. He's now 4-1, and the save goes to Mason Miller, his 24th of 2026. Time of game, 3 hours and 8 minutes. And the crowd here at Petco Park, the 38th sellout of the season, 40,561. Once again, first pitch tomorrow at 1:10. Our pregame coverage begins at 12:10. Until then, for our great studio coordinator, Jeff Hamby, I'm Sam Levitt saying so long and good night from Petco Park. Again, the final score here tonight, the San Diego Padres 8 and the Toronto Blue Jays 7. We'll talk to you tomorrow afternoon on the Padres Radio Network. Have a great night, everybody.